In Udgitabrahmana, the Agni Aditya Atmabhava is the effect. Agni, Aditya and Mritue are only the different bhavas of the same, the Eka Chaitanya. But in Aswamedha we had the Mrituathmabhava. Here it is the Arka Aditya, Agni Aditya Bhava. Now, there was a Devasura war. The war, Deva and Asura are the sons of Prajapathi. The number of Devas were less and the number of Asuras were more. So Devas thought, we will do Udgita and win over the Asuras. The association of the sin or as impurities, that birth and deaths happen again and again. In Prajapati Vrata, there is a natural sin. This is not actually, you cannot call it a sin. It is a natural defect. That is the desire of the man and woman. No, that is not a sin actually, but it is an imperfection or an impurity we can call. The karma makes human beings a lesser individuals. And this state of Alpatva is called Asu. Alpatva. So Asura means one who has a karma, who is a lesser person, Asu. That is why Asura. Asuratva is the enjoyment in that karma, which is an imperfection or an impurity. To enjoy the sinless thoughts and to become resplendent and enlightened is the nature of a Sura or a Deva. Deva means the lustrous or the, the bright people. The Sura or Suri were less in number. But the people with desire, the Kama, were more in number. It's not in every period of time it is like that, no? The enlightened people are less. And Deva, for becoming sinless, did Jyotishthomayajna and dependent on Udgita for it. Now the Shabda Ha denotes a Nipada, which shows a past history. The present Prajapati in his past life had enjoyed with his sense organs like the Vak, etc. All the sense organs he had enjoyed. And they became illumined with the knowledge derived from Shastra. And thus, in the present Janma also, he became a Deva, according to Shankara Bhashya. The world of the Indriya. Indriya are the sense organs. The god of the Indriya is Indra. So, the world of the Indriya is the body of the Prajapati itself. The desire in the enjoyment of the worldly things pull him to one side, saying, this world is mine, this is mine, this world is mine. The knowledge in the sciences tell him, no, it is not mine, and pull him to the other side. So there is a force between mine and not mine. But this action, Prajapati becomes stresses or pressurized by two types of desires. To have the desires and to sacrifice the desires. In this war of good and evil, when the Deva and Dharma win, the Suras win, the human beings awaken to the level of Prajapati Loka, called the world of Prajapati. This awakening and arousal is what the Vedas call Brahmanya, to the Brahma Prajapati's world. When the Asura Paksha and the Atharma win over, and the desires, the Kama win over, there is a fall into the darkest worlds of the Sthavara, or the non-living stage of life, without any awakening, enlightenment. If both are equalized, The next birth is as a common man. So the Deva started to grasp prana and meditate on Udgita. Action they did here is control of prana and japa of mantra. The meditation of mantra is the analysis of the jnana, actually. The kriya or action of obtaining a devata by a mantra japa is called abhyaroha or arohana, or rising above the normal level. That is what people do in tantric practice and all. No? The opposition say that this and the analysis of jnana are not related. So to this Shankaracharya says, by the utterance of ya evam veda, jnanam or wisdom is mandatory. In Karma Kanda, the Udgita was earlier mentioned. Here it is not said. Here it is the Vidya Prakaranam, the Vaikharijapa or the uttered japa, which is called Abhyaroha, is Anitya, which ends. The japa that is done always in the mind and analyzed, that is manana, is called Nitya Shravana. It is the eternally heard, this internal japa or dhyana. That eternal sound, eternal Nitya Shravana is essential for Vijnana or Jnana. Only with this Praanajapa one can cross over and win Mrityu, not by this uttered, heard word. It is the manana, the Nitya Shravana. That is inside, internal. To remove the doubts about the purity of Praanajapa, in his opponents, he continues, Shankara continues, if a person mistakenly understands a man in a pillar or a friend in a foe, this viparyaya or opposite jnana will not give he or good results. The results will be also opposite to what is intended. No? This we see in our daily lives. Therefore, instead of understanding and meditating on own Atma with prana as Ishvara itself, declaring that there is no Ishvara, no Atman, no prana, is not pure either. It is aviparyaya. By mistaking prana as impure and Atma as impure or non-existent, the opposite effects are obtained. Our own mind become impure by that process, and it is the only effect you can obtain by that type of meditation. The opposition here raises a question. Is not the Shastra following a wrong path? If it asks to meditate on Atma with a name and a form as Atmeshwara, Saguna Taipali, the reply of Shankara is important. We meditate on an idol of Vishnu, the real Vishnu who is everywhere. We know that the real Vishnu is everywhere, in everything. But we meditate on an idol of Vishnu. It is the way, same way you are asked to meditate on your own Atma as Ishvara or Brahma. In my Atma, Ishvara or Brahma resides. That doesn't mean that he is only here. Vishnu is not only in the idol, Vishnu is everywhere. Just like that, Brahma is not in my Atman alone, in the Atma of everything I see around. This wisdom, that name and form are not the real God, but Atma is the Ishvara. With this knowledge, we are carrying out the meditation. We know the idol is only a symbol of Vishnu. In the same way, my Jivatman is only a symbol of Brahma. That alone is not Brahma. That also is a Brahma. It is a symbol of Brahman. There is no point in doing the rituals alone without cognizing the real meanings, Shankara says. The Vishnu, which is everywhere, Sarvada, Sarvatnya, Sarvavyapi, that Vishnu is in the idol also, because he can sit anywhere, everywhere. And hence it is perfectly right to use it as a symbol of meditation. Same way, consider your Atma as Brahma. Atma is Brahma, I am that Atma. It doesn't mean that you are alone Brahma. Everybody can be as good as your Atman. This is the applied knowledge which Vedanta gives for meditation using a symbol. If we switch on, the light will shine, the TV will function, the refrigerator will work. Without knowing the science behind their functioning also, we can do the owning and offing of switch and enjoy the effects of the science. No? But these are not the scientists but common men. Without knowing the real thing, if you do something, you are not a scientist, you are only an ordinary layman. Similarly, there are college, university students who experiment with science in their laboratory. They learn the methods set by the past scientists and repeat the same experiment done by ancestral scientists to prove something and use the learning not as a science but as a tool for employment opportunities to find a livelihood. Is it not so? So they are not the real scientists. They are just people trying to get something, some job or something like that. Both these types, I can put that into the practice of doctors also. Doctors give medicines which have been given by ancestors for so many years. No, they don't even know what it is. Just the medical representative give the name of a medicine. They just give it. Same thing, same way. That is not the science. No. The users of science are meditating on the karma kanda, one for worldly enjoyments and the other for job to earn a livelihood. Their karma may look like that of a scientist, but due to abhava of the real jnana of science and by the presence of certain selfish motives, it is different from true science, actual science. In the same way, the karmaganda of those who just ask for favors and worship an idol, and those who does puja and other rituals in front of an idol without knowing the science and the symbols, such a person is different from that of the Vedantin's view. Vedanti knows the science of it, but the lay people may not know it. Though similarity in action is seen, both are doing puja, that you can see, but the internal bhavana, they are different, because Vedantin has jnana while the other has no jnana. So that is different. It is the internal knowledge which is important, not the outside action.